Have you ever seen Watership Down? It's a little animated feature with these little cute rabbits. It's for children. Oh, maybe not young children? Yeah, I recently watched Watership Down and it traumatized me. And I also loved it. That's right, this week we're talking about Martin Rosen's 1978 animated film Watership Down. And Shayna says that the trauma in this film is awfully familiar. But first, let's roll the intro. Hi there, my name is Shayna and this is my channel. I talk about culture, Jewish themes and pop culture, and basically anything else I want to talk about. And if you don't like it, start your own channel. Okay, but please subscribe to my channel. Thank you, bye. Okay, so Watership Down is one of those movies that people have either never heard of or they know a little too well and have had nightmares about it. Not me, just other people, you know. And when Shayna watched it, Shayna felt like there was something familiar about this story and the trauma it depicted. And you know what? Maybe other people connected with this film in this way. So before we get into it, let's talk about what this story even is. Spoilers ahead, obviously. When we talk about movies on YouTube, there will be spoilers, so don't come for me. Alright, based on the book of the same name by Richard Adams, Watership Down was directed by Martin Rosen and released in 1978. It follows the story of Fiver, a somewhat clairvoyant bunny, and his brother Hazel, and a few other bunnies that live in a warren. That's what they call their little community. And there seems to be a hierarchy with like a leader bunny and these little soldier bunnies and scouts and whatnot. Anyway, one day, Fiver is foraging for green while being anxious as and he suddenly has a vision. He sees the fields around him filling with blood. Yeah, this part where he says the field is covered in blood is really haunting. So Fiver freaks out and tells his brother they gotta get the whole warren out there. So they go to the chief bunny, and he's kinda lazy and doesn't seem like a good leader. And he doesn't take Fiver seriously at all. But in the dark of the night, Fiver, Hazel, and a small group of rabbits decide that they're gonna leave because they don't want to risk whatever terror might be coming their way. They might have been smart there. Because as they run away, we see a sign about land development in that area. Wonder if that will come up again. Man, probably not. So the whole middle part of the movie is them hoping to find a new place to call home. They have to work together several times and use their wits to get out of bad situations. Finally, they find the perfect place, but they don't have any does, female bunnies, to start a new warren. And also, one soul survivor from their old warren finds them and tells them that the whole warren died because of land development. We'll come back to that whole traumatic retelling later. So, by the way, Fiver was right. So it's a good thing they left. So they learn of this other warren run by a scary rabbit named General Woundwort. And he's like big and scary, really like they drew him scary. And he's very controlling, and the female rabbits are not too happy living there and feeling controlled all the time. So with the help of a bird, the other rabbits concoct a plan to rescue the does from Woundwort and bring them to their warren where they can be free. And there's like a big battle, but ultimately they use their wits to outsmart Woundwort and they live happily ever after. See, I told you there'd be spoilers. Yeah, there's some pretty graphic parts, at least graphic parts for a cartoon, but ultimately, I think it's a compelling story, and I enjoyed it, despite the disturbing images. But something happened when Shayna watched this. There were elements of the story that seemed very familiar to, Jewish stories and Jewish generational trauma. And I bet there are other people with other lenses that found ways to connect to the trauma as well. So first, let's get into the Jewish trauma and then some other perspectives. So the movie opens with a little lore about the rabbits and the world they live in. They have a godlike figure named Frith, and he created all the animals the same until one day a little rabbit named El Arora and his other bunnies are eating too much food. And Frith warns them to chill out, but they do not listen. So, Frith gives all the animals different special abilities, including making some animals predators. In an attempt to outwit the clever Frith, El Aurora sticks his head in the ground and Frith gives his back legs the power to run fast. And this part really stands out. They repeat it at the end of the movie too. Frith tells Aurora, "All the world will be your enemy, Prince of 1,000 enemies, and when they catch you, they will kill you. But first, they must catch you. Digger, listener, runner, prince with 1,000 warnings, be cunning, and your people will never be destroyed." And I'm sitting here thinking, a story about a people that are constantly being hunted, but with wits they continue forever-ish? That sounds like another people that have, experienced pogroms throughout history, including being attacked by the Romans, being second-class citizens, the Farhud, the Holocaust, just to name a few. And I was like, hey, is this a Jewish story? And then when Fiverr has a vision and leads his people through the woods, and they face different challenges, and they even start to question him, well, that kind of seemed a bit like, Moses leading his people through the wilderness for 40 years in pursuit of a better land that they do eventually get to. And then let's talk about Captain Hawley, okay? He's the rabbit that was from the old Warren, and he comes and he tells Fiverr and the gang that the whole Warren died because of construction and land development. He says that their burrows were filled with dirt and the air turned sour and all of the rabbits died. And as he's describing this, we see like this horrible imagery of like these gray dead rabbit heads that are all bunched together in the ground and they have red eyes. And seeing the gray all packed together, the red eyes, hearing that the air was turning sour. Well, I just couldn't help but think about the Holocaust and gas chambers. I mean, seeing gray bodies piled up in the air and it was like they were being gassed. Yeah, that was traumatizing. And also, the bunnies had to leave their home for a better life. And they were kind of like displaced. They were like the diaspora population, and some chose to stay and ultimately died. And others left and survived because they were like, hey, the vibes are off. Yeah, I'm talking about Jewish generational trauma. Shayna saw it everywhere in this movie. Now, this movie might not explicitly be about these topics I just covered, but here's what I think happened. This movie somehow captured something real. It captured struggles and horrors that different people throughout history have experienced. It explored different leadership styles, including indifferent, militant authoritarian, and compassionate collaborative. It showed the power of working together and using your wits, along with physical strength. It showed different groups, the rabbits and the bird, working together. Now, these things aren't mutually exclusive to Jewish history and trauma, okay? Shayna knows that. But Shayna has generations of Jewish history coursing through her threads, so when Shayna sees a movie that captures these human elements, she's gonna connect it to Jewish history and trauma. And I bet other people have watched this movie and have felt similarly with their own lens that they bring. Like if you're really into environmentalism, maybe the part about the land development lands a certain way for you. Lands differently. You see? I see what I did there. If you come from a certain background with your own generational trauma, maybe there's something you'll find in this film that resonates and reflects. And if not, I think that just these simple core concepts of staying or fleeing, working together, standing up to big jerks named Woundward, all of these are relatable. So no, Watership Down isn't really a kids movie, but it's a very human story despite being told from the point of view of rabbits. And it made me think deeply and reflect on what all of these themes mean to me. So tell me, have you seen this film and how old were you when you saw it? Did any of the themes resonate with you in a unique way? Let me know in the comments. And speaking of, if you like this video, please leave a like, leave a comment, but only nice comments, okay? Nice comments only. Nice comments for Shayna. And subscribe to my channel, and hit the bell. It really helps. Shayna works very hard on these videos, okay? And she needs your help to grow the channel. So please help me grow, and I don't know. I don't know what else to say. I was afraid to go too much into the Jewish trauma, and I'm just rambling now. Okay, well, thanks, bye!